Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. 2 videos in like less than a week. What are the chances? I have a book review for you guys. I can't remember because I'm old and I didn't take the time to look back at my old videos, but I feel like this might be my first book review. So the book that I am going to review, I did a book haul, a July book haul, like sometime last week, I don't know, late last week, and this book was featured in that book haul. I just finished it yesterday. Y'all, the book that I am going to be reviewing today is, let me fix the lighting, Girl Last Seen by Nina Lauren. So here it is. And yes, let's get into it. Let me fix the lighting because my last video, my lighting was like super funky. Is that better? Yes. Y'all, I hated the book. I didn't hate it per se. Like, I don't give it like 0 stars. I'd give it like a 2-star, maybe 2.5. And let me tell you why. Let me read the synopsis on the back first really quickly though. It says, Olivia Shaw has been missing since last Tuesday. She was last seen outside the entrance of her elementary school in Hunts Point wearing a white spring jacket, blue jeans, and pink boots. I forced myself to look at the face in the photo, into her slightly smudged features, and I can't bring myself to move. Olivia Shaw could be my mirror image rewound to 13 years ago. I've spent a long time peering into the faces of girls on missing posters, wondering which one replaced me in that basement. But they were never quite the right age. They were never quite the right age, the right look, the right circumstances. Until Olivia Shaw, missing for 1 week tomorrow. Whoever stole me was never found, but since I was taken, there has never been another girl, and now there is. Okay, cool. This book is about a woman. Her name is Lainey. What is Lainey's last name? I don't care. It's about a girl, a young woman. She's about 23 years old, named Lainey. At the age of 10, she was abducted, aka kidnapped, and this is going to be spoiler free, but she was sexually abused, sexually assaulted, and I mean, you know what sexual abuse is, by her abductor while she was kidnapped. Okay, so, and this is like trigger warning, like heavy. Eventually, she was found at the age of 10. After she was found, she was basically thrown away and she was, I don't want to say mistreated, but the system didn't do her justice. So as a minor, as a 10-year-old who was abducted, who was sexually abused, sexually assaulted by her captor, she was failed. The system failed her. She was very much mistreated after she was found, and really, like, the system had nothing to do with her as far as like them looking for her abductor. You know, the cops really had nothing to do with her after they found her. They took her to the hospital, they institutionalized her, and basically they criminalized her as a minor. So we are now looking at her life 13 years later as a 23-year-old, 24-ish year old, and she is a hot mess. The abduction or the kidnapping of the little girl, Olivia Shaw, is why we even have the main character. So because the little girl went missing and she fit kind of a similar description as Lainey, a whole like whirlwind of Lainey's life like was just, I don't want to say exposed, but it was just like uncovered. Like Lainey became a prime suspect in the disappearance of the little girl. Now for me, I am a bleeding heart for anybody who has been victimized or who has been you know, a product of some type of horrible trauma. I don't want to say a product, but a victim of a terrible trauma. And this book, I really didn't have any sympathy for this character. I did in the beginning because she was going through a lot of trauma. You know, she was having a lot of flashbacks about what happened to her. But it was so hard for me to like her because she would do all this like ridiculous self-interest behavior. Like, she was all over the place, and I get it and I understand why she was, but I mean, she was like taking all these pills, there was heavy drug use, and then she'd pass out. Her behavior was super erratic. She was like manic at sometimes, suicidal at sometimes, homicidal at sometimes. I mean, she was just all over the place. And like her thought processes, and like, okay, so disregard the fact that I'm a therapist, right? Because all of these things make sense. Just as a reader, she drove me crazy. Like, she was popping pills, she was just doing all this extra stuff, but then would be like super entitled and be like, everybody should feel bad for me, everybody has failed me, which they have, but like, she did absolutely nothing to help herself. And I mean nothing. Now, there's one particular person in her life, there's a cop that resurfaces back in her life who was like the only person who had absolutely anything to do with her when she was found when she was 10 years old. But he really, all he did was like come visit her in the hospital one time. And their relationship is really odd. Like, he resurfaces, but he like totally re-victimizes her, in my opinion. And then like, he was emotionally unavailable, but then he would like blame her for some of the stuff that he did to her. It was just too much. Like, everybody in her life, nobody helped her. And she never helped herself. Like, there were times where this particular cop that re-entered her life should have taken legal action to force her to not do the things that she was doing. But it's almost like he enabled her and allowed her to get away with like this super dangerous and self-injurious behavior, and then would like be super condescending to her because she did it, or like she would be crying out for help to him and he would be emotionally unavailable and like low-key exploit her. So I'm like, oh, what's happening? And so it's hard for me not to like give it away, but every character that is in this book, including Lainey, was a hot mess. And all they did was enable her bad decisions and then blame her for making the bad decisions, but then be like, oh, well, we're so sorry, you were abducted 10 years ago, we should have stepped in and helped. But then as she's crying out for help 13 years later, they're like, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. So the book was just all over the place to me. I found the main character, Lainey, to be super unreliable. And she had just, I hope this is not politically incorrect, but she had, I don't want to say addict, but addict behavior. She had someone who abused substances behavior. And I just found her behavior to be frustrating. I really feel like the system failed her as a 10-year-old. Because basically what they did was, to me, it seemed like they just blamed her for being kidnapped. And because she did come from a very poor background, it was like, it sucks what happened to you, but hey, we found you, so try to live as normal of a life as you can. Like, nobody tried to find her captor. Nobody tried to find her abductor. And then, like, I don't know. It was weird. It was a very odd book. I didn't particularly like it. I didn't pay that much money for it. It was very cheap as far as the price that I paid for it, so I can't be mad about it. But I'm definitely mad that I'll never get 340 pages of my life back. So it was a quite boring read, like up until the last maybe 3 chapters. I was like, okay, I get it. Like, she'd take a handful of pills and then pass out, and like the main character, Lainey, and then get in car accidents and like endanger all these other people. It was just weird, y'all. It was weird. So I'd give it a 2.5 stars. It really wasn't, it's supposed to be like a psychological thriller. It was more so like a psychological drain. Like, I was just like, my brain hurts reading this. And a lot of times when I would read it, I'd go back and be like, huh? Like, what just happened? What? So there were just loose ends that were never tied up for me, that left me with a lot of questions. I guess this is Nina Lauren, the author. I guess this is her debut novel. Maybe, is it? I think it might be. Hold on, is it? No. It's not. No, it's not. Is it? It might be. It might be. I'm not sure. But I found the writing to be a little scattered. It was definitely all over the place. And Lainey, as much as I wanted to like her, the main character, I just, like, there were no characters in this book that I liked. Like, none. So, listen, don't take my word for it. If you want to check it out, check it out. I would suggest, this is my suggestion to you. If you have a gift card, or if you have like points or something, or if you have a local library where you can get this for free, I would not pay more than like $5 for this book. I would suggest you get it from your local library, but if there's a way where you can get it for the low, like super cheap, like you have a gift card somewhere, or you save up some spare change and buy it, that's what I would do. No offense to the author, like personally, but it was a no for me, dog. Like, it was a no. So you check it out. Let me know what you think. If you've read this book, let me know your thoughts. If this is something that was on your to be read list, your TBR list. If you read it, let me know what you think. Or if I have just totally dissuaded you from taking another second glance at the book. I apologize, friends, but it was a no. It was a no. So the next book I'm going to read, I'll hopefully be able to update you guys on. I have about like, wait, what's today's date? I have like less than a week. Oh my gosh. I have less than a week before I have to go back to work. I've been off all summer. So I don't know if I'll be able to get another video out to you guys, but if I can, you'll see another one out from me shortly. And if not, then I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you all take care, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.